Still waiting for a big smile out of you. You're up 2-0. What's the story? Are you not happy, or you're only half happy, or?
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? I don't think so.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rick's Blazing Takes. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you here with me. I appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Yo, SimWorld, what up? What it do? Rick Blaze coming to you live and direct with another episode of Rick's Blazing Takes. And before we get into it, you know I got some things I want to talk about. Let's talk about it. All right, ladies and germs. We've been talking about the players, both SimWorld Prep and the players going into SimWorld U. But I want to give some love in another direction to some very important people who play a very important part in these players' lives and how good they become ultimately on the court. And that's the coaches. I want to get into my top five, top five coaches I'm most looking forward to in SimWorld Prep this upcoming season. Again, I want to talk about the top five coaches I am most looking forward to this upcoming year in SimWorld Prep. I'm going to start at number five. Number five is going to be probably a shocker to most, but not to me. Coach Bellardi. He's at my number five. Yeah, I know. He's not with the team. I understand. But there are some teams still looking for a coach. And maybe Coach Bellardi has ridden out to the sunset. Maybe he's on family time. Maybe he's doing his own thing, and maybe head coach is not his thing. But, I always hold out hope for the Zen master. He's going to land on my top five. Man, Coach Bellardi go back since ground zero. That's how far back we go, me and the Zen master. So Coach Bellardi comes in my number five because if he lands on the team, it's always interesting to see. Once the coach, always the coach. Or maybe he's a assistant coach somewhere. Who knows? He's number five for me, Coach Bellardi. Number four, I got to go with Brett Lee. Brett Lee's been quiet. My man doesn't make a lot of noise. He don't talk a lot of talk. He just gets the job done. He had a really good year last year with a team that we thought wasn't going to do too much. He's just consistent. He's that consistent person, that consistent coach that all he does is just win and be consistent. Doesn't make a lot of hoopla, doesn't pound his chest. He's just consistent. And you got to say something about that type of consistency. Coach Lee coming in, I recognize it, Coach. I see it, Coach. I'm not sleeping on the consistency. You have my full and undivided attention. Coach Lee comes in at number four for me. Number three, Coach Heesh. Shout out to Coach Heesh. Got to give him some love out there. Coach Heesh came in talking that talk, popping off. And this team was pretty good. They had some up and down seasons. He had a young squad, but he's retaining a lot of those guys. So you get them a second year within his system and let him add to some players to bring with him. And I like Coach Heesh chances coming into his second year with SimWorld Prep basketball. I think his team takes after him. And, whenever you see a team that can buy into what the coach is selling, then, that team can go as far as they want to go with the talent that they have. And I think that's the situation that Coach Heesh has walked into. That's what he's presented. That's what he's cultivated in his locker room. Coach Heesh comes in at my number three. Number two, I have to go with Coach Berry. Now, I know his players. I talked a little stuff a little earlier this year. His players got sassy with me. I understand all that. But he came in fire. Turned the team around. Made them look even better than what they were. Right? I'm sure they came up a little shorter than their goals. So I'm anxious to see Coach Berry now in Arizona. I want to see what he can do with a full season with his players. Now, y'all got on me this past season because, I thought they underachieved. Now, I don't want to hear no smoke. Now, y'all got a whole season with Coach Berry. Don't come for me. Well, you can come for me, but that's not gonna be a good look for you. I want to see Coach Berry with a full season. I want to see what he can do with that young team and the players he's bringing in. Got the new unis, got new names, rebranding. Yo, they got all directions of pointing north for the Scorchers and Coach Berry. I want to see them. He lands at my number 2. And at number 1, I got to give it to the guy. I said it in the threads yesterday. He just may be the SimWorld Prep version of Pat Riley. Nobody can motivate and get you going like he can get you going, and he stands on business at all time. I gotta go Philadelphia and Coach Drees. Coach Drees is my number. It's crazy because Philadelphia coming into the season has more hype, and I think they have a bigger target on their back than the champs, the world champs do of the originators. Now, Coach Dodge has stepped down, so that has something to do with it. Originators has lost some big players, mainly Flag and Ilgauskas. I know that has something to do with it. But to me, I think the hype coming in has to be Philadelphia. And you know what? If you don't believe me, you got to take my word for it. I got a special guest that feels exactly the same way. So today on BLAZIN Takes, I have a special guest that I'm bringing in on the line. SimWorld Prep, new recruit. He's been, his name been kind of being in some mentions lately. And so we want to chop it up. We want to talk about it. We want to get into some things. Ladies and gentlemen, Deuce Turner. Deuce, my guy, how you doing right now?
I'm doing good, bro. Yes, sir.
So let's jump right into it. I don't want to waste the people's time. You kind of been going back and forth. You and Alfonso recently. I just want to get your side of the spiel. What happened, how it popped off, and how you feel after all this is kind of shaking down right now.
I mean, bro, literally it started with, I was having a conversation with somebody else, actually, and he told me that I was being arrogant or I was being cocky, but I got faith in my game. So I'm going to talk my talk because I believe I'm going to back it up on the court. So, if you ain't got faith in your game, you ain't got faith in your game. But I don't believe I'm arrogant because I'm confident in myself.
For sure. So, and when you got to talk, when you talking that talk, you got to walk that walk. So, we on the court, 1-on-1. It's you and Alfonso. Mm-hmm. We're going to 12. What's the final score?
What's the final score?
Yeah, what's the final score?
I didn't even know who Bull was before any of this. I'm not gonna lie, but since we've been going back and forth, I went back and looked at it. I went back and I looked at him. I checked him out. Whatever. I give it 8-12.
8-12. Okay. That ain't bad. That's a competitive game. 8-12 is a competitive game. Okay, so let's back up just a little bit. Now we got that off the chest. Let's back up just a little bit. Tell the people where you from. And tell them people your style. In case they haven't watched you yet, they haven't seen you play, let them know what style of game that you bringing.
I'm out of Philly. All we do is ball out here. I was raised on playing basketball. I've done it my whole life. And if we want to talk about style, I say my style is Kyrie Irving mixed with a little bit of Donovan Mitchell.
That boy he talking tough. The Kyrie and the Donovan mix, that's some tough talk. So, we're coming up on some times where the recruits have to start making some choices for some teams. Now, I'm not saying you got to put some teams out. I'm not saying you got to show all your cards. But is there a couple of teams you looking at that you thinking that maybe a good fit for your talent?
I got one team that's a good fit for my talent. That's Philadelphia.
Oh, talk it. Let me tell you something. The way you talking that talk and the way Coach Drees talks that talk, you guys are going to be two peas in a pod. I'm sure once he hears this, as he's listening to this, he's rubbing his hands together like Birdman, and he can't wait to get you in Philly. Now, is there
man, I done took screenshots and everything of names and everything. I'm ready to see everybody. I'm war ready.
So, are you saying there's no way, there's no chance in hell another team can offer you something that'll pry you away from Philadelphia?
Nothing. I'm sorry to even cut you off, but I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's nothing.
Hey, y'all heard it. Y'all heard it here first, man. The Drees Turner collab is about to take off. It is what it is. The rest of SimWorld better get ready. Deuce, thank you for your time, good brother. I appreciate it. Best of luck to you in this season and your team, Philadelphia. Apparently, best of luck to you, Coach Dries, Philadelphia, and the rest of that squad. Man, I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna be checking out for you now. You talking that talk? Make sure we can walk that walk.
Thank you, sir. I'm out of here. Do so almighty.